Hey guys, what's going on here? It's Sunday the 15th, March 15th here, and I want to rant about what's happening in Europe and America right now. So first of all, I want to give you like some brief numbers here in China. So the active cases have come down to about 10,000 active cases still, and they there are about six provinces that had recovered, so zero cases. The number of people being recovered is about 10 to 12%. So these are pretty promising numbers, and then it's basically on a recovery mode, and looks like they have this under control. And we only get like a few, actually, yeah, not too many additional people being affected, only like maybe like 20, 30 cases for a population of 1.4 billion people. That's a lot. I mean, these are like official numbers, but we don't know, like, because this virus can spread without any symptoms and stuff. So, but the official numbers with active cases are about now only like from the peak of 90,000 to 10,000 active cases. So it looks pretty good. And the city of Shanghai, or in China in general, the economy is back in full swing almost. So all the shops are open again. I'm very happy. So I started working again as of last week. Although was a little scared traveling and then getting in contact with a lot of people. So, but I need to start working again. And what can you do? You try to protect yourself as best as you can. So let's talk about Europe and the United States, how they can handle this outbreak. So the same thing is going to happen in Europe. We already seen like Italy being really hit hard by the virus, and basically Italy implements the same measurements as much as possible. What China has done, basically quarantine people and just tell people to stay at home and check the temperatures and get enough ICUs and stuff, so as best as they can. But it looks like the numbers of mortality is pretty high. The reason why is because they don't have a capacity to treat everybody, and still, I mean, compared to the United States, Italy does pretty good in terms of testing, but it's still not enough. Right now, Italy has 21,000 cases. It's actually, I think as of yesterday, was it? No, a few days ago, they had more numbers than active cases in China already. So China is at 10,000 and Italy has 21,000. So these numbers are going up exponentially. I think as of like a couple weeks ago, and as the numbers have gone up like drastically. So we're gonna see some increase though, exponentially. So right now we're at 20,000 active cases. This number is probably gonna go up. If they don't handle this well, it's gonna go up into like 50K, 60K. So it's gonna get worse in the States. Probably if they, well, the United States has a very different healthcare system, and Italy is already like a pretty modern in terms of healthcare social system, that provides across pretty much all European countries provide free healthcare, universal healthcare, and while the United States is stuck with still debating over how they're gonna test everybody, because apparently a test will cost $3,000 to $4,000. I don't know the exact number. That's what I heard before in the news. But so right now they're doing very minimal tests, and then only those who can afford it right now. So they're still debating and then pass a law that make the tests available to everybody. But by that time, there are going to be so many people who will be infected with this virus, you know. And let me get back to Europe first. I've seen a lot of news when it's kind of scary when people that are being ignorant, and especially young people, I think like, oh, it's just a flu virus, and I'm gonna be okay, so I don't need to worry about it. But the thing is, like, you might be okay, but you're gonna spread the virus like crazy. You know, while it's incubating, you may have it, and you may be okay, and you may not show any symptoms, but you're gonna spread it to everybody else, and especially you're gonna spread it to elderlies who's gonna get sick and may die, like family members and stuff. So it's kind of selfish of them to think, oh, I'm gonna be okay, so I don't care about the rest. So their mindset is kind of individualistic, and they just care about themselves, but not, you know, about the society and elderlies, you know, that are mostly affected. And in China, it's very different. The society is above the individual. So I think we see a tremendous effort of the government and the people helping each other to achieve this in a record time. So while in China, it took, I don't know how many, about a month and a half until they had it under control, but they closed down the economy for at least for 1 month. And they took a lot of effort to contain this virus. People and the government, the citizen, so whatever it takes. But it's not going to happen in Europe or in the States and most Western countries, because they run on a very different system, and people, they kind of work against the government. You know, they're working on their own measurements. You know, if the government says something, oh no, we're not going to listen to you. We do it on our own way. And I spoke to my nephew in Germany, and I talked to him. Look, you're gonna have to stay home, you know, and wear a mask and when you go outside. And it's like he responded by saying that I'm not gonna wear a mask. That's kind of stupid because I'm young, I'm healthy, so I'm gonna be okay. So I don't care. I'm not gonna wear a mask. I do whatever I want here, you know. And I try to explain to him that, you know, eventually most schools are going to be closed and stuff, and you're going to have to stay put, and you're going to have to wear a mask and stuff. You might be okay, even if you have the virus, but you're going to spread to your grandparents, you know, maybe, and that's really dangerous, you know. And I try to explain to him as best as possible, but then he still has this idea like, I don't care, you know, this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm trying to, you know, like explain to kids in a nice way. So if you tell them, like force them to do something, they always, you know, turn out to do the opposite of what you're trying to tell them. So I told him that, okay, do whatever you want, but make sure you're safe, and you'll be a more responsible person, you know. And I see all these news that, you know, that a lot of football matches were canceled. No, they were still playing these games, but there were no audience allowed to get in the stadium and stuff. But then you see all these people still going to the stadium and then support their team and all that nonsense. And then they say, well, the fans, they say, oh, we're very passionate people, you know, this is our life, this is our team, we don't care about this freaking virus, you know, so we just do whatever we want, you know, we don't care, you know, this is our passion, and then they say, oh, next week they're gonna close down a lot of clubs and stuff, stores. So we might as well just fucking party, for this week, and then we'll see what's gonna happen next week. So we party hard, before close down the clubs and stuff. That's kind of really silly and irresponsible, whatever they're doing. I know that a lot of Western countries, they have this ego by saying like, we're not gonna, learn. We're not gonna learn anything from China because whatever they do, it's bad. Even though I have to tell you, whatever China did to contain the virus, it's almost unprecedented. Like the measurements they have done to build hospital in 10 days and to mobilize the entire nation, to help each other, to send all the military and medical personnel to the epicenter. It's amazing, basically, what they have done. So it's really impossible to expect that from a Western country to do, because it seems like they're not working together, but then they're working as an individual, saying, oh, that's whatever they're doing, to track my personal data is invasion of my privacy and all that stuff. So what's going to happen next in Europe is that, well, Italy is the first one that got hit really hard, and there's going to be similar pattern that is going to happen in Germany, in Spain, in the UK, and then eventually the United States. But that will the numbers of infection will highly depend on how well the country can respond to it. So as I said, like it took, like, let's say China, it took 2 months for China to get this under control. It's going to take Europe a little bit more, maybe 3 or 4 months. But the United States probably going to be a lot more, or maybe they cannot contain this virus at all. They're going to let it go like the H1N1 in 2009. The Premier Minister in the UK said already, we're going to expect a lot of people dying basically from this virus, because there's not much we can do, because our ICU is going to be filled, and there's going to be a certain number of people who are going to die. So that's not much we can do. So they're basically, the UK is basically already giving up. They probably notice they don't have the capacity to contain this virus. Currently, the United States has like 4,500 infected cases, and if they don't stop it, it's going to go. I'm not kidding, even to 100K of people being infected. So a lot of people are going to die too. Elderlies and stuff. And one thing that I'm worried about is that the United States doesn't have any healthcare, like a universal healthcare. It's going to be a big problem they're going to run into. You see a lot of people doing panic buys at the grocery stores and buying off all the groceries, toilet paper and all that stuff across Europe and States. But it didn't happen here. We had enough food, not a single day, to be honest. I didn't have to buy anything ahead of time, so I buy whatever I need for a day and just go out. Certain areas that were impacted more, they were constrained to go out maybe once in 2 days or more, depends on how infected it was. But here for Shanghai, where I live, I can go in and out any days. So I just buy whatever I need for the day or for the next 2 days. Just normal as usual. The only difference was the stores like barbershops and just regular stores were closed. Only and restaurants, and only grocery stores were open still. But that's the only difference. Now all stores are open again, just as usual. But the only, as I said, the difference between Europe and China is that people do a lot of like panic buying, buying off all the toilet paper and whatever stuff is necessary for them. So I'm a little worried about my family in Germany because it seems like whatever the government does is really not enough. They should have learned from whatever happened already. And if you don't want to hear or listen to what happened in China, then just at least look at Italy. They're running into the same problem as China, and then now, why don't you just take a lesson? Start wearing a freaking mask and don't spread the virus anymore. And just stay home, close all the schools, whatever is necessary to contain the virus. You're gonna have to deal with this eventually, So do whatever you need to do, to stop this thing. It's gonna be real nasty if you don't do it. So, but anyways, that's a quick rant for me, and I'm trying to, tell you what's already happened here, and so hopefully you can do the same thing to contain this virus. Yeah. All right. See you guys later.